Okay. Let's get going on this. Again, I want you guys to be able to know the top 5 countries. Not necessarily in order, but I want you to be able to, if I gave you 20 or 30 countries, you could circle the top 5. Okay, number 5. This country is the biggest in Latin America.
Brazil.
Brazil.
It was Brazil.
Brazil.
Okay, the next country used to be part of India. It's the Muslim part of India that decided to become its own country. It's
Bangladesh. Japan.
It's borders India and Afghanistan.
Pakistan.
I knew it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's it.
No.
Okay. Number 7 is the largest country in Africa.
No,
Ethiopia.
No.
Yeah, Nigeria.
Nigeria. Nicely done. Okay, number 8 is a country that I feel sorrow for, I guess would be the best way to put it, because I know that this country is. I know this country is going to is looking forward to some extremely difficult times because of climate change. Now, let me explain why. First off, this country is a Muslim country and it used to be part of India. It is Bangladesh.
I told you.
Bangladesh is a country that is on a delta. We talked about what a delta was yesterday a little bit. A delta is where the river flows into a ocean. And when you think of a delta, think of like Louisiana or New Orleans, right? That's a Mississippi River delta, correct?
Yes.
And it's low lying. So what happens a lot if when there's a hurricane or something?
It rises.
Yeah, the water rises and floods, right? Flooding's a real issue in New Orleans, correct?
Yes.
10 years ago, there was Katrina and thousands of people lost their homes, right? Bangladesh, entire country is a delta. 166 million people live on a country that's only about 2 feet above sea level. Most scientists believe that due to global warming, over the next 50 to 100 years, the sea level will rise probably 3 to 5 feet, meaning that the vast majority of Bangladesh is going to be underwater. That's a big deal. Where do you put 166 million people when their land isn't there anymore?
You just run into the middle.
Population.
Their country is predicted to be about a little around 85%. About 85% of the country is predicted to be underwater within the next 50 to 100 years. It's connected mostly to India. India was not happy when Bangladesh left and became its own country in the first place. We just don't know what happens. This country is going to be vastly different in 100 years than now because of global warming. Of all countries in the world, this was probably in the top 5 of most affected countries due to global warming. And there's not much we can do about it. Think of our situation in the United States. We had Katrina happen 10 years ago this week, correct? Thousands of people lost their homes and hundreds died. And we are the richest country in the world, correct? And we still haven't fixed the problems in New Orleans. And that's only one city, right? This whole country might go underwater due to flooding. and they're one of the poorest countries in the world. So
Imagine.
it's going to be an issue. Okay, the next country. We're getting down to one probably that you would think would be up a little higher. Russia. Yeah.
Russia.
Russia is not as big as we think it is in terms of population. It just seems like, in my mind's eye, and probably a lot of you guys as well, because it's often in the news, and they seem to be a strong country, that they're bigger than the United States, right? They're half the size of the United States, and their population is actually shrinking. Their growth rate is negative, which means that their population is continuing to go down.
Why is that?
Not because of their government.
Well, Russia, there's a lot of things going on in Russia, and I mean, I could go through the myriad of problems that their country's having right
Yeah,
now.
about that.
The one that pops in my head, though, is an article I read about a drug that's like decimating the countryside of Russia. It's not even a drug that is found in the United States. Has anyone heard of crocodilia?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Your skin and everything.
yeah, it's
Crack.
yeah. No, it's a it's a methamphetamine blend, more or less. But there is some coolant, like engine coolant, which is basically acid, and they call it crocodilia because, well, there's not a Russian word for crocodile, but when you start injecting it, some of the first signs, your skin starts to get like scaly, and the muscle goes away. It's crazy. Like a little less than half of people that start using crocodilia die within the first year of addiction, which is unbelievable.
So that means if you're strong and you have like big muscles and you put them, it's just gonna eat off your muscles.
Well,
Or what?
I'm sure you guys can. The ones that know what I'm talking, probably seen. They're pretty nasty pictures.
Yeah, I've
and,
seen it. Yeah.
And it is what it is. But that's just one issue of Russia. There's a lot of things in there.
It
Well, the
is.
president has like a side chick, so.
The next country is Japan.
Ouch.
Exploded, right?
Yes, we did detonate an atomic bomb in Japan. We believe that the time was to end World War II, which it basically did. Okay, the country, number 11.
Mexico.
Yes. And then Philippines. And then Ethiopia. I just wanted to put Mexico and then a couple more, just to give you guys an idea. These all are really close, within a few million people. It surprised me that Mexico is in the top 15. I know it's a big country, but I didn't realize it. In my mind's eye, I would think that it's like in the top 20, not in the top 15. So I mean,
That's big.
I know it's a big country. I've been there several times.
We'd be driving fast there. No one cares.
Okay, let's get to the economy. What country in the world has the largest economy? The United States.
Oh my God.
Okay, again, I want you guys to be able to identify the top 5. Not necessarily any order, but if I gave you 20 countries, you could circle the top 5 biggest economies. I just want you guys to have some knowledge of some of the biggest and most important countries in the world. Yes. You have a guess? What?
Can I guess one?
Yeah, go for it. For number 2, you're saying? Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Oh.
It's the one that actually the vast majority of you guys guessed yesterday on food. China.
I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna throw up and cry.
Okay, number 3.
India.
3 and 4 were countries that the United States defeated during World War II.
Japan.
So
Germany and Japan.
Good.
Germany represents.
So Japan has 127 million people. Germany has a little over 80 million. So, do you think Japan has a bigger population, is going to have a bigger economy, or is it going to be Germany?
Germany.
Japan.
Obviously.
Germany.
Japan.
Germany.
Obviously, it's
I was just guessing because he was
but
making
at
that
least
face.
Germany made top 5, so.
Right, but then
Okay,
they to like.
Number 5 is, I heard this one several times. This country is the smallest in size of all these, but it has a pretty huge economy.
Italy.
I just
Italy,
ate.
France,
Russia.
United Kingdom.
Are you sure?
UK.
I can guess the top 5. Or were you just?
Okay, the next country has a big population.
India.
It actually, sorry, I'm off one. Number 6, this country is the after Russia and Germany is the 3rd largest European country.
Italy?
Russia, France.
After Russia and Germany, it's France.
I
Yeah.
was like, Italy?
France.
France. Oui, oui.
Yes.
France.
There's some. If you guys watch Netflix, there's some. There's a lot of French. There's a lot of French movies on there. They're very interesting. French cinema is so different than Hollywood.
Like Ratatouille? It's like nothing.
That's an American movie.
You mean rats don't talk in France?
Number 7.
Brazil.
This country is the strongest in Latin America. Brazil. Okay,
India.
the next country on the list is one I'd like to get a motorcycle from this country.
Italy.
Italy.
Is it called a motorcycle or is it called like a...
I'd like to have a
Okay.
Ducati is what I'd
Yeah,
like to
that.
have.
A
but-
Ducati.
Yeah.
With some breadsticks in the
I
back.
thought India was
India.
Okay, number 9 is the most populated
India.
country left. And Russia still is in the top 10.
So nothing missed out?
I didn't go into what it. The next country, I forget what it was, but it was another European country, and it wasn't like surprising, so I just left it off. If that makes sense. I can't remember, to be honest with you. My guess would be probably
Belgium?
Spain.
somewhere in Europe. I don't know if it'd be Spain. They're having some issues.
It would actually.
We all have issues. Like every
We all have
country,
issues.
every
Right?
single person.
Okay. What?
Where is Kansas?
Oh my
I thought I
God,
seen
what?
Kansas City.
Oh my God.
Okay, we have Kansas City. Unfortunately, did not make the list. It's a much smaller city than these. Yesterday, we learned the top biggest city. What was that? Tokyo.
Kansas City's pretty big.
Again, I'd like you guys to know the top 5.
I think, yeah.
Number 2 is one you guys would not necessarily guess.
Delhi.
And I'll give you some hints, and it actually doesn't help you at all, but it's interesting about it.
It's Beijing.
This particular city
South Korea.
has the largest church in the world. It has a congregation of over 30,000. It's not in Latin America, North America, or Europe. It's actually in Southeast Asia.
Oh.
Mumbai.
Guangzhou.
South Seoul.
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 The biggest church in the world is in Seoul, South Korea.
I don't
I
want
was
to
a
say
great
they might
church
bomb me,
age.
bro.
They were
I'm
weird.
great grandfather's
Number 3 is the biggest city in China.
Oh.
Beijing.
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 Spain, Shanghai.
Shanghai.
Oh.
That's Nicki Minaj song. Oh my god.
Shanghai is an interesting city. Part of it is was built by the British and Europeans, so it looks like a Western city. And for a while, that part of the city was the only place Westerners could go in China. Westerners being someone that's from Europe or non-Chinese, more or less. So you go to Shanghai, there's like the Western city, which is like looks like a New York or anything, and then there's the old city, which is much more Chinese, I guess you'd say. Number 4 is another Chinese city.
Beijing.
Guangzhou.
Oh. Ben Chow.
Okay, number 7. Well, there's 1 billion people in China. They're going to have some big cities, right? Number 5. This city.
Hold up. Let me write this.
We them boys.
This city has the best professional cricket team in the world. They're called the Knights, which is weird, but they do.
Mumbai.
It's a country with a lot of English-speaking citizens.
Mumbai.
India would be a real good guess, actually.
Nigeria.
Karachi.
La cucaracha.
What?
Does that mean
Cricket.
cockroach or like
Cricket,
sandwich
cricket,
or
yeah.
something?
Cricket. Karachi. The Karachi Knights are one of the best professional cricket teams in the world.
I don't even hear about that sport.
Yeah, I will say that there are people that play it around here. You know, I told you guys I go running quite a bit, and there's my 4-mile route is my usual one, 4 miles, and I go through a trail, and it goes by an elementary school. And on Sunday nights, there's a group of about 20 or 30 guys that are Indian and Pakistani that play cricket every Sunday night.
Is that
And they have like all the equipment. It's like they have the wickets, which are like, they're not bases, they look like little pieces of wood, and they wear the pads that look like catcher's pads. Yes,
okay? Is it cricket with like
a flat bat. What?
I was like,
It's,
You're
I
jumping.
said,
okay, if we have enough time, we'll probably get this done. I'll show you what cricket is.
It looks
Yes.
Does it like
a boat
throw it off
paddle.
the ground?
That's correct. It's a baseball type game, except the ball's slightly bigger. They use a flat bat, so it looks like something you would whack, like someone you get whacked with. And the game can go on. There's not innings necessarily, but the game can go on for like days if according to real rules. However, they've changed the rules for professional leagues in some of the countries to make it like a faster game. But I don't know enough about it to give you more than that. I will say when I watch them play though, it's crazy. Like it doesn't look like anyone's doing anything, but I can imagine if you knew nothing about baseball, wouldn't you say the same thing? You see like 9 guys just in the field just standing there, and every once in a while a ball gets thrown and they try to catch it. I mean, same kind of deal. Okay, number 6. Let's see. I think
Mexico.
It is
Delhi.
Delhi. I believe you're right.
Oh, I
Yes.
said it first.
My name is. You gotta write something. You have to write one.
You guys are making good guesses. We had not had a city from India yet, so that would be guess.
Oh, I put China.
Number 7 is the largest city in the Western Hemisphere.
Mexico City.
Mexico City. At one time, Mexico City was the 2nd largest city in the world, and it's not growing as fast as others. Number 8.
That's good.
Number 8 is our last Chinese city on the list.
Beijing.
Beijing.
What?
Okay, number 9. This is the largest city in Africa.
Uh-oh. Nigeria. Lagos.
Lagos. Good.
Somebody farted.
Lagos. This time last year, there was, an outbreak of Ebola in West Africa, correct?
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys might have studied a little bit last year.
Yeah, we make fun of it too. A lot.
Like a couple on the hall side.
So anyway, Lagos was the major city where some people that were infected with Ebola went, and there was starting to be an outbreak in Lagos. The big thing was they were able to contain it, but about this time last year, people were really concerned because Lagos has 21 million people in it, and there were thousands of people at one point around this time of last year with Ebola. When there'd never been a case of Ebola in a large city, and scientists were super freaked out at this point last year.
They thought they couldn't handle it.
So it's like Ebola, just like last now, like no one talks about it.
Well, good question about that. Ebola yesterday or last week sometime. Anyway, the last few days I was listening to NPR, and they were saying that's the National Public Radio. It's like the low dial. It's news.
My
Anyway,
dad, he likes that stuff. I don't.
anyway, it's part of my job. So anyway,
Not outside.
the last case of Ebola in Sierra Leone, which was the hardest hit country, the guy had the way they say that you have gotten cured of Ebola is you don't test positive for Ebola after 21 days. The last case of Ebola in Sierra Leone was like last week sometime. So
Last week.
So that means it's over?
it's more or less contained for what we know. Yes.
Right now, all of us have
Yeah.
Ebola.
Actually, that's a good question. During the summer, people are scientists have gotten stuff that is working. Problem is, Ebola is there's lots of strains of Ebola, so they'll figure out something that
How'd
cures or
Ebola
prevents
came
it
up,
in
though?
one strain, and then another one will pop up. It's
Ebola?
kind of like the flu in that aspect.
Does it?
Okay, number 10 is the
Mumbai.
largest city in
New York.
Brazil.
No.
So New York's not that big. I thought it was big,
Okay.
bro.
Number 11 was Mumbai, but I wanted to give you guys an idea of how big New York City is. It's 12 and it's 20 million, and Moscow is right under it.
But I was
Oh, Moscow, that's our like cool.